Hi, I'm Neil Fu, the host of NCT Tech Talk. Today, our pleasure again, we have a very young, talented guy, Mr. Wesley Ho. The head of asset management of Solarvest Berhad. I said, Solarvest is not so old company, but they are already in a very advanced kind of a new energy business. Means, of course, solar.
Yes.
Right? So always I say that I'm getting younger with all the young men here. Really, we're going forward, and I was told that even they have forward orders at least 2-3 years.
Yes.
Fantastic. So they are just recently upscaling or migrated from ACE of KLSC to become the main board companies.
Correct.
Very significant new energy players that we would like to listen from Wesley. That could you please share about the background of the company or even yourself?
First of all, thanks Neil for having me on your show. My name is Wesley. I'm the head of asset management for Solarvest Holdings. Basically, my job role is to look out for greenfield or even brownfield solar assets for investments, right? So these solar investments, they'll give the company recurring incomes through the sale of electricity, right? Now, Solarvest is a clean energy expert with multinational presence across Asia Pacific. Right?
Okay.
We started off as a one-stop solar solution provider for the residential, commercial, industrial, and also utility scale segment. Right? We own our own renewable energy generation plant of a cumulative capacity of above 50 megawatt. Right? Today, Solarvest is venturing into other forms of clean energy, such as energy efficiency, low carbon mobility, and also renewable energy certificates. Right. So that is the background of our company and where we are headed.
Everything very green. Okay.
Yes.
So all the advanced terms. I learned about the brownfield and the greenfield. Can you explain further what is the difference of these two fields?
Basically, brownfield solar assets are solar plants that has already been developed, has already been constructed, right? Maybe for a certain number of years. Right? So that's what we call brownfield. Greenfield are those that we have yet to develop, right? So it's still in the bare stage. What we have to do is go and develop the solar asset, right? So we have to talk to parties like private companies, right, to install solar on their rooftop, or even we can talk to the government or TNB, in fact, because they own their own solar farm as well.
So yeah, that's why just now Wesley also mentioned about to help the company to increase some kind of income and revenue.
Yes.
So always I believe that whatever technology, even the green elements and all this, we have to still come back to commercial, right? To monetize it, or always I use my word as a new bankable business model or operation model, so that the banking, the finance will really to look into it. So perhaps I would say that you can share with us, with you have so much of forward orders, that how would the financial system in Malaysia or in general in the world that to help the green development of the industrialization, as well as you said, the sustainability or perhaps the ESG?
In fact, there is such thing called a green fund, right? So banks they offer green funds to potential solar users, right? As a financing program with low interest rates, right? So these green funds, they have low interest rates to encourage people to go green, right? Of course, everyone is thinking that is green or ESG really necessary? I'm just a small business player, blah blah blah.
And costly.
Yeah, costly. Yeah, the perception is costly. But in fact, global warming is real, right? Just to give you an example, based on our monitoring of all our solar assets in the past 2 months, December and January, it's supposed to be really hot and sunny. Chinese New Year period, always hot and sunny.
Yep.
But this time around, it's always raining, right? So
water.
Yes, so we can see from our monitoring of our assets that weather pattern is changing.
Okay.
Right. So the yield from the solar is actually in fact getting lower. Now this is actually showing us that weather pattern is changing due to global warming.
Okay.
Although we don't really feel it, but it's something that in the long run will impact us.
Okay. And also, you're talking about global warming. People are talking about new energy. And when I study, right, I think the most practical is about solar. Do you think so? Solar is always that is reachable, affordable, and also the technology. You are the providers that, come and talk to Solarvest.
Yeah, solar is definitely the most viable form of renewable because the energy is coming from the sun, and basically the sun is always there. Free, right? Okay. So the perception of solar again is always that it's expensive because of the high initial capital outlay. Okay. Right. But it is now considered a must-have in the world today, especially in Malaysia, where last month, in fact, the government has actually increased the TNB tariff for medium voltage and high voltage consumers. Right. So solar is a must-have for businesses to bring down.
You talk about the electricity. Yes. It's like, with the new government, it jumped up about 5 times?
Basically, it's 40% increase.
40% increase, yeah. Okay. You consider significant for the manufacturing?
It's very significant.
Wow, right? Good for you then. So your solar system will come in to help to save some energy, some cost. So in general, how much factories that if you install your solar, how much saving that in average that you have experienced?
Well, actually, the savings depends on a few criteria, right?
Okay.
Of course, your consumption, your roof size, but ultimately, on average, you're about to save at least 30% up to 60%.
30% or 60% of your monthly or the yearly
monthly bill. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's significant to bring down the business's operating costs.
Fantastic. Okay, NCT, we have a smart industrial park. At 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐻, we have 730 acres land.
Yep.
And we're going to have easily more than 700 factories. So, being the strategic partner of this park, how do you help us, or how can we collaborate to bring the new energy here?
Now, Solavest, we will co-develop, as you said, more than 700 factory and warehouses. We will be co-developing solar-ready factories and warehouses in Selangor Smart Industrial Park. Now, the aim here is to scale down the commercial and industrial carbon footprint, right?
Okay.
Now, we will be providing decarbonization services to NCT's facilities by reducing the greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay.
Right. So, equipped with this smart technology and also green and smart technology, the green industrial park coupled with solar development, right, is the way forward. And of course, it will allow efficient energy conservation and also energy cost optimization. At the same time, we will lower the waste and also carbon emissions.
Okay, so we're talking about carbon emission, we are talking about carbon credit and things like that. So perhaps you try to let the grassroots people to understand that is it a compulsory for the nation, and also would help us to monetize. Always I try to relate to when it comes to business that per day is a cost, there is an investment. What would be the return for the individual company?
So for businesses, who invest in solar, right? We always talk about solar as investment because there's a return of investment period, right? Okay. Now, the good thing about the Malaysian government is that they are giving out incentives, tax incentives to businesses who invest in solar, right? Up to 48%. It's a double tax deduction, right? So this actually encourages businesses to go green, right? Now, of course, going green is not compulsory, but it's actually a responsibility of everybody to ensure that we take care of our earth, our home, right, for future generations, right? Okay. As I said, we will not feel it now, not in our lifetime, but future generations, they will definitely feel the effects of global warming.
Definitely, I mean, it's good for the earth. Always that also envisage with that. But of course, at the right moment that you invest, you have your saving of the bill, as you said, right?
Correct.
And of course, in Malaysia, we are at the tropical climate that the sun is always on top of us, maybe good for 365 days.
Yes.
If we don't do it in Malaysia for solar, where else, right? Because other place they have 4 seasons.
Correct.
And they could have maybe 3 months sunshine that let us move together.
Yeah.
So Wesley, we look forward our close collaboration that you help us on our 700 factories. What I can imagine, maybe on the rooftop of all the factories that we see solar panel there.
Yes.
So really that very much of the concerted effort on consolidated strategy in one industrial park that we are doing the same thing, speaking the same language, rather than piece and pieces by individual factory. So for the Smart Industrial Park of NCT, or rather we call NCT Smart Industrial Park at Selangor, that it's just like a meso level of smart city that in especially industrialization community, to pursue the smart city of adoption. All right, so we will see this to help our park, to move forward green and even certified ESG requirement. So Wesley, we look forward and we meet some other times, right, to share with all these great progress with our community here. And also we look forward the reindustrialization of Malaysia with the green approach. Okay, thank you, Wesley.
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks everybody, and see you again. Bye.